Hey everybody, we're live. I am with my new friend who is running for Oakland mayor in the special election for April 15th of this year. Elizabeth Swaney. Did I get your name correctly pronounced?
Yeah, pretty much. Elizabeth Swaney, running
Swaney.
for mayor of Oakland.
What is Swaney, by the way?
What is Swaney, by the way? So my father's last name, and it has some Irish origins. Actually, I have a diverse background. So I was raised in a bilingual English-Spanish household. My mother's from Venezuela, and my dad's from LA. So and my cat is my daughter. So that is who's kind of surrounding me throughout a lot of my life. And yeah, excited to be here with you. Thank you for the opportunity to chat with you and have your viewers learn more about me.
Yeah, I was reading your background. It's very diverse, very Oakland, very interesting to say the least. And first of all, tell us, I mean, if you had to describe you, who are you? Yeah.
Yeah, you said, I think it right. You said I'm very Oakland, and I believe that's who I am. I am a hard worker. I've worked most of my adult life having several jobs at the same time, sometimes while pursuing an athletic dream. And I feel like that really resonates with a lot of Oaklanders. A lot of Oaklanders, all of us are pretty much hard workers. We hustle. We have great goals. We're creative. And I feel like that's who I am as well.
And so what was the aha moment where you said, you know what, I'm going to run for mayor?
The aha moment. I don't know if there was one aha moment, but I've always cared deeply about Oakland and just making sure Oakland is as strong as it can be, and I wanted to be part of that strength in Oakland. I think I'm a strong, hardworking person, and I wanted to share that with Oakland. So, just doing more for the city of Oakland has always kind of been part of like the back of my mind. So I thought, okay, this is an interesting opportunity to explore running for mayor of Oakland, and I talked to the city clerk's office, I believe in November. And then the very first day, December 23rd, I requested the signature pages. And from there on, I was just talking to people in Oakland about what they like about Oakland, what they might want to see changed in Oakland. And then after each day of conversing with these people that were deciding to support me, endorse me with their signature, I learned more about Oakland, became more passionate about running for mayor. So it was really kind of through these conversations with people in Oakland that my interest kept growing in hopefully representing the city as mayor someday.
Hey, before we go more in there, I want to find out about more you. What's a typical day like for you? Getting up, going to work, or working at home. What's a typical day like in Oakland for you?
That's a good question. And actually, I don't think there's a typical day for me. A lot of people around me, most of the people I talk to, there's no typical day for them. And there's always changes. I feel like I'm a very adaptable person. Things are always changing around me. I do feel like at one part of my typical day is I feel like there's multiple things to do at the same time. So a lot of it's prioritizing things, seeking what I need to improve on. I also try to figure out how to empower those around me, inspire those around me. But it's one another part of my day is figuring out small goals, achieving those small goals, and then also sometimes having bigger goals and working every day towards those. So one typical part of my day right now is doing something every day to run for mayor of Oakland, listen to the people of Oakland, and figure out what I can do to serve everyone.
See, I get what I'm saying is a typical day for me for a long time was I would get up. My first thing was I would go to Lake Shores Cafe.
Nice.
Yeah, and which unfortunately closed a year ago and has been quickly replaced by an AT&T. Excuse me. Oh, that's awful. Awful. And I had my favorite dish there was the Lake Shores omelet, which is really fantastic. Orange juice and cranberry juice and water. Those are my three things. And I was there so many times that they knew precisely what I wanted when I walked in the door. And that's how I started my day. And so that's what I was looking for. I was thinking, like, you know, do you start your day going to Starbucks, or do you start your day, you know, on Netflix or at home, or do you start your day, you know, how do you start your day? You know, what does it take you through Oakland to do? You know, just how you live your life in Oakland is what I'm interested in.
Oh, yeah. First of all, I mean, that day that you described sounds amazing. I wish I could have joined you for breakfast
Yeah.
at your favorite cafe. So actually, you mentioned Starbucks. That is part of my weekly routine nowadays, and that's because I'm a barista at Starbucks.
Aha.
So
Which
yeah,
one?
yeah. So
Which
I am
one?
there. That is one of my jobs right now. I'm a barista at Starbucks. So that doesn't happen every day, but it happens some days, and I've been there for about 14 months.
Wow. Which Starbucks are you at, if I may?
Oh yeah, I'm in the East Bay Starbucks.
I mean, are you on Lakeshore? Or here's where I'm going with this. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't know if I can show you with this on Zoom, but I think I'll just say it. I I can show you on Zoom, but I don't feel like taking up your time by digging for it. In 2018, I was headed to the airport actually to come here because my mom's by herself and all this, and I was going back and forth. And it was a Sunday morning, and the guy taking me to the airport, airport driver, and we were a little early, actually a lot early, and I had this idea. I said, let's go to Starbucks. So we went to Starbucks, and there was this guy behind me who he was kind of like, I was making a video blog. Well, first of all, he was really close, and it kind of like made my hair stand on end. And
Oh
I'm
wow.
thinking, wait a minute, why am I afraid? This is
Hmm.
Oakland, right? And so I'm
Yeah.
thinking, well, I'll just video blog, and that way I'll catch him from behind, right? So,
Hmm.
because I had no idea, and he was a white guy. He had this kind of interesting cap, uh, and this kind of oversized coat, and so I'm video blogging, and he's like doing like, "Oh yeah, what's up, man? What's up? What's up? What's up?" That guy turned out his name was Angus McLeod. Angus Cloud, excuse me. The same man who later starred on Entourage. I mean, not Entourage, but what was the program? It wasn't Entourage. It was it's gonna it's gonna come to me when not thinking about it. But he was started with the Zendaya.
Yeah, yeah. Zendaya's an Oaklander, so he co-starred with her, and I think he was. I recently watched the movie Abigail, who was
Right.
directed by an Oaklander, and he was in that film as well.
And,
But yeah, unfortunately, he passed away, as you probably know. So that's amazing you got to see him. But yeah,
right.
super sad
Well,
what happened.
all that happened at Starbucks. And so that's when you said Starbucks, I was thinking, hey, maybe she was
Yeah.
at that, right? Right. So that's where I was going with it. So anyway, but anyway, not alas, but it's what I love about my town is that sort of fabric, of people who they take on all kinds of different guises, like yourself, like you're a stand-up comic. Okay, that's amazing. I mean, and so how did you become a stand-up comic? Were you joking about Oakland? What happened?
Yeah, that's actually a good question. So it wasn't really my choice to get into stand-up comedy. Two other people were instrumental in getting me into stand-up comedy. So I was actually in downtown LA during a few months during the pandemic. A friend that I had just met asked me, "Hey, do you want to carpool with me to Pasadena to help support me at my comedy show?" So I said, "Sure." And we were in the car together. She said, "It's a benefit show. You're also going to perform tonight." So that was her direction. You're
Whoa.
going to perform at the stand up comedy show that she was a part of. So I was actually there to kind of help support her, help with the live stream. And after 2 hours of listening to the other comics, I realized, okay, everyone has funny stories. I'll just share some funny stories and it'll be part of the comedy show. So it was actually a really amazing benefit show to stop Asian hate. So I thought, okay, how do I tie in my life with that theme? And I realized Okay, the last time I was in Asia, it was in 2018 in Korea to compete in the Olympics. So to tie in with the theme of the night, I talked about my just Olympic stories, and people laughed about like half of what I said. And since then, just talking about being an Olympian, the Olympics has been a big part of stand-up comedy. Not a lot of Olympians talk about that. About a week later, after that Pasadena benefit show to stop Asian hate, I was at a new comedy club called the Comedy Chateau in North Hollywood to kind of support another comedian I liked. It was a very expensive Uber ride, so I thought, okay, what am I? I'm just going to stay here, chat with the comics after the show to make my time worth it. I did that. The club owner happened to be there and at Felix, and he asked me, do you do comedy? And I said, I've done it once a week ago. I think he was looking for comics or liked my energy, I don't know, but he invited me to come to the open mics with about 30 other comics. So I did that for every Sunday over the next 4 weeks. And after that, was invited to be at one of the bigger shows. So after that,
Wow.
yeah, thank you, bigger show, I realized stand-up comedy was something I definitely wanted to do. I really love the stand-up comedy community. Even though I started in LA, I love the Bay Area stand-up comedy community. There's so many amazing comics that have stories from so many diverse backgrounds. It's such a diverse group, and they talk about hard things in life, funny things in life, everything in between. You might have noticed I also, over the past 2 years, I've also been producing my own tech pitch roast comedy show. So at that show, I've had
Watch it, folks.
70.
Check it out.
Yeah, you should check it out. I'll let you know about the next one. It's actually February 2nd in San Francisco is the next show. I actually have a New York show on February 7th as well. I go sometimes there for shows.
You go, girl. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah. New York's one of the comedy hubs. I think San Francisco's one of the top 3 or 5 comedy hubs, but every comedian has to go to New York every so often to continue doing some types of comedy. So, but I started this Tech Pitch Roast comedy show in San Francisco. I also had my first Oakland Tech Pitch Roast comedy show last month in December, and at the show, founders, usually in tech, some are not in tech, they pitch their company for about 5 minutes with a pitch deck, and then they're asked candid questions.
Sounds like where I need to be pitching Zennie 62 Media.
What'd you say?
I said, sounds like where I need to be pitching Zennie 62 Media.
Oh, exactly. I was about to say that. It kind of reminds me of our conversation. So yeah, you're welcome to pitch your company, your blog. So after you or a founder pitches, they're typically roasted and asked candid questions for about 10 minutes by the panel of 10 people, usually 8 comedians and 2 advisors or investors. So it's kind of like a live version of Shark Tank. It allows people to get candid feedback on their product. It's not a mean show. It's not as mean as a comedian versus comedian roast. There can be spicy comments, but there can be positive comments at the same time. One of my favorite stories recently is a founder. Some of them are trying to raise, some are just trying to get fun feedback. One of the founders pitching, she was told no by over 200 investors before coming to the show. Wow. She pitched at my show and got her first funding check. So sometimes, yeah, it's so happy for her. Sometimes it's just like the right environment for someone to get noticed. And I feel that if audience members, whether they're someone new in tech, someone interested in tech, or just a general person interested in comedy or an investor, they see a founder handling themselves well on stage and they think, oh, I want to be on board with this person because they're answering tough questions well or taking them well and responding in a great way. So I look forward to continuing to grow that show, and I feel like that's given me exposure to a lot of different businesses, the different people in tech, the comedy community. It's just been a great community gathering event, and that's just been one of the events that I've loved to organize over the past few years.
Hey, so then I have to say, first of all, I should have said this before, but it was out of protocol pocket. Thank you for serving our country by going to the Olympics.
Well, thank you for that comment. I actually compete. So I was a U.S. athlete. Then I eventually competed for Hungary in the Olympics. So
But you're an
thank
American
you.
citizen. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so yeah.
Yeah. So, but I mean, I always represent, I feel like I always represent multiple cultures, multiple countries. So I was born in the Bay Area, born in Berkeley, raised in England. My mother's from Venezuela. So I actually competed for Venezuela for a little bit. And then I competed for Hungary. And I thought, okay, I mean, I did represent the U.S. skeleton developmental team, was recruited for that, which was exciting. So I represented 3 different countries kind of on the international stage. And I feel like that's really exciting. The training partners that one has doesn't really change, but you get to learn more about these other countries and cultures and people, and get to, if you place well enough, get to continue traveling and competing. So that's been really exciting, or was a really exciting adventure for me.
So, what were the Olympics like? I mean, how did that come about? Because I can't have a conversation with you without, finding out more about that. That would be sacrilege not to. I mean, how did that come about?
Yeah, good question. So I had an Olympic dream when I was 7 years old to compete in the Olympics. One of my inspirations, my main inspiration, was a Bay Area figure skater Kristi Yamaguchi.
Oh yes,
And I wanted to be, yeah, just like her, and win an Olympic gold medal in figure skating.
my
At
best
that
friend is her
time,
friend. My best
what'd you
friend,
say?
my best friend, Beth Schnitzer, is one of Chris Yamaguchi's friends.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's so cool. Would love to chat with her someday. I did actually get a chance to meet her. I think when I was 12, at this lunch. My mom's into sweepstakes, so she won a contest to have lunch with her and brought me along. So that was a cool moment. And yeah, that was in the early 90s. At that time, there wasn't an Oakland ice arena, I don't think, but there was Berkeley Iceland. So my dad took me to ice skating classes just like once a week. That's what we could afford at the time. And through that, I got a really good foundation of figure skating and kept growing my Olympic dream. Later on, I also did a lot of skating at Oakland Ice Center. There are a lot of things I did in between figure skating and actually making it to the Olympics in skiing. I didn't learn to ski until I was an adult, after college, after grad school. I moved to Utah or not really moved, but spent a lot of time in Utah to pursue skeleton sliding, which is head first down the bobsled track. So I was working in Utah, several jobs, almost always training for skeleton. And I was located mostly in Park City, Utah. Everyone in town either skis or snowboards. So my first whole year of living there, when someone would ask me, do you ski or snowboard? I would say, I don't do either. Like I used to skate when I was younger, and I do skeleton now, but I don't ski or snowboard. So in 2010, the second year I was training in Utah extensively, I noticed a program which was Learn to Ski for $25 a day. All your gear is included. You get the class, a lift ticket. I think that's amazing for any sport to get all that gear, and a half day class for $25. So after doing that 5 different days, I could ski maybe 50% of the mountain. So that was, and then that was a long snow year. So I think the season ended in July that year. I learned to ski in March after watching the 2010 Olympics, and skied until July that year. In December, I was hired as a ski instructor at the same resort where I learned to ski. So that made it affordable for me to learn to ski. But most of all, I just loved showing people the mountain and giving them like an experience of a whole new world, especially if they're a beginner skier or snowboarder. It's their first time. If it's their first day or week on skis, they've never seen like trees go by so quickly, or had to navigate with other people on the mountain. So that was really special for me. I was a ski instructor for 7 years there, and then I did so many other jobs in Utah as well to help support the Olympic dream, and just yeah.
Okay. So, where do you live currently in Oakland? What not specifically, but what district?
Yeah, I'm in District 1 in Oakland.
Ah, we met our new council member, Zach Unger.
Yeah, we actually, so I have a good, funny story. So, I think it was just exactly a week ago, I was walking down the street and, I think we both kind of recognized each other and we'd never met before, but Zach said, "Oh, hey, are you running for mayor of Oakland?" So that was, cool for someone to recognize me just on the street. Right after we said hi, chatted for about 10 seconds. Someone came up and had a lot of policy questions for Zach. So that was kind of the focus of that conversation. But it was nice to know that people in Oakland government know who I am, know I'm a candidate, and want to talk to me.
Okay, so what is your burning issue that makes you want to run, and the first thing you want to fix if you are elected mayor of Oakland?
Yeah, so that's actually a good opportunity for me to talk about my where I'm announcing my platform on my site. So I have a site that I'm launching later today, www.standupoakland, or sorry, www.standupoakland.com, standupoakland.com.
I like stand up for Oakland. That was
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, stand up ties in with stand-up comedy and ties in with Oakland, obviously, as well. So launching that soon. I'm going to have my platform there. I also kind of announced my candidacy on video. I posted that on my Instagram, on YouTube, like Twitter/X, and I think those are the main platforms. YouTube, and I'm continuing to post platform policies there. So you'll get to see what the important issues are in Oakland. I know I can. Are you signaling timeout?
Do you realize? Yes, because you realize you were the first candidate in Oakland's history to use social media as in all of its different platform phases or facets to announce your candidacy. That's new.
Thank you. Yeah, that's what that's
shocking.
what I wanted.
It's shocking, isn't it? Isn't that shocking to know?
Yeah, and I hope people will know that, because a lot of what I want to do is bring tech in like a smart way to Oakland. Still have people obviously be at the center of Oakland, but so much could be done to strengthen Oakland. I believe with different tech partnerships, tech can give so much money to the city if we allow tech to do that in the right way. So I'm excited, to continue the conversation with people and see what we can do in Oakland to just do more for the people.
Okay. So now I have to ask you about something that is the focus of the T-shirt you're wearing in your poster, the Oakland Athletics.
Yeah.
Why do you feel we lost the A's? And what would you, if you were mayor as opposed to Shang, what would you have done? Or I think more appropriately Libby, because really it's happened on Libby's watch before Shang. Mm-hmm. By the time Shang became mayor, Dave Cobble had already decided they were leaving, and so did the commissioner of Major League Baseball. So I'm curious to know, what's your take?
Yeah, I think that was accumulation of just a lot of years, and it wasn't just the A's. As we know, the Raiders left and Warriors left, and A's left, which was really sad. There's a lot of reasons that go into that. I feel like if I had been mayor at that time, I would have shown the A's that I really cared about them staying. I believe the community really cares about them staying. I was at the final 2 Oakland A's games, and that's actually where I got that shirt at the very final Oakland A's game. Even like after the final out, no one left, no one moved for 30 minutes. So I feel like that's a testament of how much the community really wanted Oakland to stay. And unfortunately, that voice of the community wasn't relayed maybe through the Oakland government at that time. I would make sure that the people of Oakland are heard, and if they really want a team to stay, and I know that the community really wanted the Warriors to stay, the Raiders to stay. I don't know of a person I've met who has said like, oh, I'm happy that one of these teams left. Everyone that I've talked to wanted these teams. Maybe you know differently, but maybe I know more. Yeah, you wanted them to. Oh, you're raising your hand?
Yeah, on November 25th, 2021 on Oakland News Online, OaklandNewsNowBlog.com. I wrote
Yeah.
in detail why I said the A's should leave. Not that I wanted them
Okay.
to. The reason was Elizabeth is because as the person who talked Dave Cobble into using tax increment financing when he said that public money wasn't available. That was
Yeah.
April 4th of 2017. The city had dragged its feet in implementing it's called Enhanced Infrastructure Financing District that would have gotten the necessary subsidies to build, among other things, the platform that Dave told me and others that they needed to build for sea level rise purposes. Because I remember when I
Right.
first met him, he said, "Well, I need 400 million to build a platform here." That's the first thing. That's he said that to me April 4th of 2017. We were coming out of his press conference announcing that he was president of the Athletics.
Right.
Long story short, the project manager they hired admittedly got her job because she was friends with assistant city administrator Betsy Lake. Asking me to upgrade so I can, because I'm running out of time. Let me upgrade real quick. See if I can do that real quick or something. And oh boy, it's charging me $119 to upgrade. That's
So,
ridiculous.
just as a tip, yeah, and thank you for sharing that about what you wrote about the A's and your opinion. If we leave the Zoom meeting and come back, it'll reset the clock. I don't know if you want to do that, but that's
you're the
something
boss.
that
That's a
works.
great idea. So just come out and come back in.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
cool.
just to let you know, I have work at 5:30 Pacific time, so I have a hard stop around 5 o'clock. So that's
got
about
it.
8 or 9 minutes away.
Oh, okay. You have a hard stop. Okay, cool. Well, if you have a hard stop, then we can do a two-parter because I don't want to go out and come back and because that takes time. So let's do this. Let's do it. Let's do a two-parter. Okay. And how's your schedule?
That's my schedule. I will have to look at that through my phone, which we're speaking on right now. So we can connect shortly and figure out a part two.
Yeah, but I was just going to say in short, because a lot of A's fans know this. I think one of them sent me a death threat. But Oakland has screwed around in its 21st century parlance or version with sports organizations and not gotten deals and jobs done that we got done during the 20th century. And we've had a brain drain of people who use tax increment financing and we were innovators in finance during the 80s and the 90s and now and it's disgusting, Elizabeth. It's absolutely disgusting what we've done. So that's why I said it. I didn't say it with glee. I said it with anger. Anger at my own city, at the people who run it, who are economic development. That's what I went to school to do. Okay. And I did it. I wanted to work for Oakland. That was my dream job coming out of grad school at Cal. So that's what you're hearing.
Yeah. Thanks for saying. And there's other cities that have created new stadiums for sports teams, and it's really benefited the community. So I think there could have been an opportunity for the city of Oakland government to look at the examples where a lot of positive impacts have been made on the community. And yeah, unfortunately, again, I think it leads back to just the city of Oakland didn't really do enough to listen to the people at that time, and there could have been something else done differently. And yeah, I think we have a similarity in economic development. I studied my undergrad was Berkeley and grad school was Harvard, where I studied real estate development and urban planning.
Graduate
and then I
school of
helped
design, right?
Yeah, good memory.
Yeah, I almost went there.
You almost went there. Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Okay,
in fact, my roommate at Texas Arlington, we were undergraduates. He became a professor at the Graduate School of Design at Harvard. His name was Daryl Fields.
Mm-hmm.
And he's there now. He's split time between Berkeley and Harvard. But I think he just started, you were 2007, right? Somewhere in there?
So yeah, I graduated from Berkeley in 2007 and graduated from Harvard in 2009.
Yeah, I have to double check his schedule. I think he came into Harvard a little bit later.
Okay.
Yeah. But you almost said, but I had a meeting with Avis Vidal, who is professor at the Kennedy School. And, but what I discovered was because they really didn't have a planning program, I would have been shuttled between schools. And what really got me was that they spent 20 minutes, her and a woman they both had the same similar friends in England. And I'm thinking, you know what? I don't want to be here. And so I took Berkeley, and the Berkeley was the best 2 academic years of my life.
Nice.
So yeah, so anyway, but let's figure this out so we can come back because I want to hear more about
Yeah.
how Harvard informed you about cities and how that you're going to bring that to being mayor. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
great.
All right, so we'll be back, folks. Hey, everybody, subscribe to Zennie62, bookmark OaklandNewsOnline.com, and we're going to get offline and straighten out this scheduling thing. All right, Elizabeth.
So we're going back and then talking for a few minutes and then leaving, or what is?
Oh, we can
As you
go.
mean.
Well, we can go out and come back in. All right. So you said
Yeah, and then I have to leave around 5. Just to
Okay,
let you
fine.
know.
All right. Okay. So
Okay.
all right. So end it. All right. End meeting for all. All right. So it was great. So new meeting. Please wait 9 minutes. Hey Google. Hey Siri.
Uh-huh.
Give me a countdown of 9 minutes.
9 minutes starting now. When the timer ends, you can say, Siri, stop.
Hi, Zennie.
Hey, it was asking me to wait 9 minutes before I come in, or I have to upgrade.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's why I
Okay.
was calling you to let you know that.
Yeah, it said invalid meeting ID. I've never seen that before.
I haven't either.
Usually.
They've changed these things around. Yeah. Okay, so I have to also figure out what was going on with StreamYard. That was whacked out weird. That because you should have just been able to come on in without any complications. What kind of were you using it off your phone or computer?
This was off my iPhone.
Ah, okay. Do you have a laptop?
I have a Chromebook which does some things but not everything, and I know the iPhone is better video quality. It's just like the main thing I use, so I'm most comfortable.
And I
on the
normally use an
with-
iPhone too, so I wonder if I could have just done it iPhone to iPhone.
Oh yeah, probably that might. I wonder if that would have. Yeah, that might have helped.
Well, let's try it again, and I'll try it iPhone to iPhone, and that may do the trick because I've done it on StreamYard with iPhone. It was just fine.
Okay. I do have to leave for work, like in about a minute or two.
Okay.
So maybe we can set another time to chat and just
Sure.
coordinate line when that can be.
Yeah, sure. How's tomorrow?
I will. I'm gonna check my schedule. I don't know if tomorrow will work, but yeah. I